Hey, good morning, friends. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Chat with Ryan Frank. I'm Ryan Frank, going to be joined here in a few minutes by my friend Donnie Slade. Donnie and I go back quite a few years. Donnie is a Kidmin guy at heart, lots of energy, great ministry. Going to talk to you about Donnie and his ministry and talk with him here in just a few minutes. Hey, hope that y'all are doing well. It's midweek, Wednesday. If you have Wednesday night programming, which I know is not a lot of you right now, but if you're doing Wednesday night programming or you're putting together your pre-recorded service or your Zoom or your in-person service for this weekend, we'll let you know we've added about 10 new downloads to kidsmatter.com over the last couple of days. Go check that out. Some really fun new on-screen games, as well as some fall events. I know a lot of you are wrestling through what do we do instead of trunk or treat this fall. We can't do our fall carnival like we normally did. We've got some really great options for you. You'll see them right on the homepage of Kids Matter. Put a Z in there. We're featuring right now the fall category, and you'll see there on the homepage some things only going to cost you $5, $10, $15 and give you everything you need to do either an in-home fall event or a drive-through fall event, or if you are going to try to do some kind of a traditional fall event, go check those out at kidsmatter.com. The latest issue of Kids Matter magazine is at the printer, about ready to go to print. Woohoo. So big shout out to Amber, Angie, Dave, Joe, everybody on the magazine team. This is our MegaCon issue. It's our fall issue, so it's a little bit thicker. Looking forward to you receiving that in your mailbox. If you're not subscribed, go to kidsmatter.com, please, and get subscribed to Kids Matter magazine. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, those of you listening to this on the podcast. Those of you catching this on YouTube, wherever you're at, I want to thank you for tuning in every day to the Daily Coffee Chat with Ryan Frank. We started doing this several months back, not too far into the pandemic, just to stay connected every day. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know if we're going to keep doing it every day or not into perpetuity, but we will see. Right now, I sure have loved it, and I've loved the conversations that we are having, including today. So Donnie, jump on here with me. Donnie Slade. Donnie is the newly appointed president of Kidz Blitz, but he's been a part of the ministry for some time. Good morning, Donnie.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. And Donnie, I said at the beginning that you're a kids pastor, Kidmin guy at heart, that you love this community so much. Evidence of this is I didn't realize you were on vacation when I asked you to join me on the call. Now that shows your love for the children's ministry community to do
Absolutely.
This on vacation. I feel bad. Your wife's never going to speak to me again.
No, she's fine with it. We just were able to come down. We had an event Saturday in Brandon, Florida. And truth be known, I was supposed to take her to Puerto Rico for her, I won't say the number of her birthday, but it was a special one. And then COVID shut us down about a week ago. They closed the beaches and everything. And so we just decided to come over to our favorite vacation place, which is Daytona. And it's beautiful here. So
is the sun shining down there?
It is sun shining, and it's gorgeous.
I love it. Now, Donnie, before we get into the ministry of Kidz Blitz, tell us about your background. Have you always been doing ministry stuff? I mean, tell us a little about your ministry background and your family.
Well, first, really have been doing ministry since college.
Okay.
Went to seminary for a year. Thought I was going to be there. Never thought I'd go back home. But God called us back to help start a church. And as we started the church, just knew right away that God had called me into children's ministry. He woke me up one morning and said, "Let the little children come to me." I mean, as if it were audible, he spoke to me and said, "You're going to be a children's pastor." And it's cool. You kind of have seen that through my whole life. Kids are just attracted to me, which is just a gift from the Lord. My wife kind of gets on me about it at times because it doesn't matter if we're in a grocery store or if we're out at a park or whatever. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Santa Claus with Tim Allen and all the kids attracted to. That's kind of what that kind of happens to me.
It's normally the goofy looking guys that.
Exactly. That's exactly what. Yeah, I had in the store when kids, making faces at kids or whatever, have to tell the parents, "Hey, I'm a children's pastor."
Yeah,
But
it's all good. Yeah.
so we helped start a couple of churches, and if you know anything about starting churches, you don't get paid. And so early on, Ken and Roger contacted me and asked if I would consider doing some events for Kidz Blitz, and it was a great way for me to offset my income at the time. It was a way for me to be able to go out and travel and share the love of Jesus across the country, see what other churches were doing, what worked, people tell me what didn't work. And so just gained a lot of wisdom that way. And so just over the years, so I've been with Kidz Blitz for over 15 years.
That's
and
crazy.
About 3.5 years ago, I think, maybe 4 now, Roger called and said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to start coming off the road. Would you consider being our full-time guy?" And so we did that. And then as you mentioned earlier, there's been some transition during this time. And so
yeah, great time for Roger to give it to you, right?
That's right.
Right for the Baptist strike.
Right in the middle of COVID. So, and there's a story behind that. But before we jump into that, the last time we were on with you, we were talking about Ken. And,
that's right.
And how Ken had a heart attack, and man, praises go up to the Father. Ken is well.
Man,
not even well. His numbers have been miraculous. There's no other way to say it. So
well, that's it, because most people would look at, he really should have gone home to be with the Lord.
That's right.
Now, Ken's always been short of words. Is he still pretty shy? And not really. We love Ken. Ken will talk your ear off.
It's funny you say that. I go to churches where he's, he does all the booking, and he's vice president of Kidz Blitz, but he talks to the churches and to the children's pastors. That's his love. That's his ministry. And we'll go in and they'll talk about, "Oh yeah, we enjoyed talking with Ken." And I said, "Yeah, you like Ken?" They're like, "Yeah, he'll talk your ear off."
But seriously, if you got somebody that you need to pray for, you or a problem you need to bounce off someone for feedback, Ken's a guy, because he has such a heart for the church.
Absolutely.
And for leaders. Donnie, now tell us, I don't want to assume that everybody who's watching or listening knows about Kidz Blitz. By the way, if you Google it, you put a Z in there, like Kids Matter, Kids, Kidz, and then Blitz, kidsblitz.com. You assume, kind of like Kids Matter, that these ministries have been around so long, everybody knows about them, but yet I know we keep meeting people who've never heard of our ministry. So for someone who's never heard of Kidz Blitz, will you tell us what your ministry is all about?
So just a real quick overview. 25 years ago or so, Roger Field started Kidz Blitz. It is a family ministry where moms and dads come with their kids to an event. We set up a huge set, call parents and kids out of the audience to play games, present the gospel throughout the event, have an invitation time, and that's geared towards the church, because the event is for the church. It's not, we don't come in and tell you how you have to do your event. We come and we're able to adapt. We're very adaptable. We're very, I don't even know how you would say it other than user friendly.
Yes.
Because we need 4 or 5 guys to help us set up, unload, and then once the event is ready to go, we need 6 volunteers to help us on stage during the event. And so we don't use a lot of volunteers, which a lot of churches, especially right now, because not everybody's coming back. So it's just very high energy. We like to say a Super Bowl environment, crowd interaction. We've done, like I said, we've come back. We've had some events since August, and this last one we did was specifically for kids. Thought it was a brilliant idea in Brandon, Florida, and the children's pastor there said, "You know what? We wanted to do something for the parents and the kids. We wanted the parents to drop their kids off. Highly recommended they drop their kids off, because they've been with their kids nonstop for 4 months." And so we did an event. We social distanced the kids. We had we'd set up some parameters. When kids come on stage, they're socially distanced on stage. We have hand sanitizer. We clean everything that we use. And so we are COVID aware, I guess is what you would say. And so things are going really well. Things are going really well.
Well, do most churches use Kidz Blitz? Do you think most churches would have a Kidz Blitz event as an outreach to community, or more just like that, something for the people in their own church, or is it both?
Yes, it's both.
Okay.
This one was specifically for the church people. We did the first one back was in San Antonio, and that's funny too. We've had 3 events in Texas, 1 in Alabama, and 1 in Florida. So we're the heaviest hit, COVID-wise. That's where our events have been, but they have gone over really well. And right now, the first few have been specifically for the church, getting them back. It's been a draw to get people back instead of sitting in front of their TV at home. Although we do allow live streaming. So the event in San Antonio, at the end, the children's pastor came up. She said, "Let me show you this." And a family had sent her a message and said, "We weren't able to attend the event, but we participated at home. In one of our games, we used toilet paper, and it was the little boy had gone into the bathroom, taken a roll of toilet paper, and started wrapping his dad up with the toilet." So it was great. It's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Donnie, what have you learned about? I'm sure you've learned a lot, but doing these events and being a KidMin guy, I mean, kids, talk to us a little bit about the element of fun that kids really do. I think we all know kids want to have fun, but do you think we have enough fun, and what can we do to better connect with kids through games or fun? Thoughts on that?
I would just have to revert back to basically a statistic of kids leaving the church once they reach college. I think you look at that and you go, we're not meeting the need. And so once kids reach college, they go, well, I don't need church anymore. There's not a draw. And so I think when we bring kids in at an early age, we've got to meet them where they are. And kids want to have fun. Kids don't want to sit and be lectured to. And so part of our heart is that kids are having fun learning about Jesus. And so, and he tells us to have joy. In the scripture, it says to dance. It says to rejoice. And when I'm sitting in a chair being lectured to, I'm not having much joy. That reminds me of my college days, sitting in front of a professor. And I'm not up dancing. I'm not moving around. And today, especially with the kids, with the different ADD and things of that nature, getting kids out of their seats, getting them able to participate. We do a lot of things where they're able to participate and learn. So fun is a major part of what we do, and I think it should be in every church.
I think so too. I remember hearing Roger Fields say several years ago that kids would rather do things than watch things.
That's right.
Which I think we all get that. And I mean, I love the on-screen games and technology and everything that we can do, but there is a reality that kids are on their screens all week, and we don't. And I just think they want to do things. They want to get involved. They want to play. They want to have fun.
We did an event for a church. I guess it was in December, and they had those interactive games on the screen. Yeah. And we also did our event, and the participation level between the two, there was no comparison. Yeah. When kids were able to actually touch, actually able to interact, there's no comparison.
I think for all of you that are listening, be reminded that you can use games to teach. You can use games to get kids engaged. I don't know if there's anything that will raise the energy level of a room more than games. You probably have seen this, Donnie, where, I mean, I've seen this for years, where there are those handful of older kids sitting in the back that are too cool to be there until you start playing a really good game. And then all of a sudden they're on the edge of their seat and they're cheering everybody on. Games have a magic way of doing that.
Just saw that this weekend. at Bell Shoals Baptist in Brandon when they had the kids there. They had the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders sitting in the back. Children's pastor got everybody welcome, glad you're here. 1st, 2nd, 3rd graders screaming and hollering, yay! 4th and 5th grader, they're too cool. They're sitting there. When we started, I couldn't. The 4th, 5th, 6th graders were the ones that wanted to play every game. They're like, choose me, running in the aisles. And so, it just makes a huge difference.
It does. So I would really want to encourage all of you that are watching or listening today to look at your programming, and are you letting the kids play? Are you letting them be engaged? And sometimes you use games as like an icebreaker, get the energy level up, but you can use games to reinforce what you're teaching by asking review questions. A million ways to use games. And I love that Roger Fields and Donnie Slade and the ministry of Kidz Blitz, this is something that they're very, very passionate about. Donnie, in our last few minutes, Kidz Blitz events. Now, I know that you have done Kidz Blitz several times at Lakewood Church, the largest church in America. But you've also, but I want to mention this, Kidz Blitz isn't just for mega churches.
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
I mean, you do have to have some room up front for your props and all that, but tell us about that. Who is Kidz Blitz ideally for? And in the majority of the churches you serve, what size would they be?
Well, you're right. We've been to Lakewood, and we have been to the Potter's House, and we've Prestonwood. We've been to some very large churches, but the majority of churches we go to are smaller. The event we did in Alabama 2 weeks ago, we were in their gym, and I think they may have had 250 people there.
Okay,
that's a great size. I did a church in my hometown not too long ago. I like to call it the Backwoods Country Church. Good friend of mine's the pastor there, and man, just had a good old time. Had about 100 people there. The stage was really small, and so we make things fit. We're able to do that. We are I think I mentioned it before, we adapt very well to our surroundings. And we've been in pretty much every denomination. Again, when we come in, it's not about Kidz Blitz. It's about your church and what works for your church and your community. And so we want to come in and be a partner and meet you where you are. And like I said, to be a partner in what Jesus Christ is doing in that particular part of the country.
I love that. And so let me just encourage all of you children's ministry leaders out there. First of all, I love that Donnie has mentioned they've already started doing events, even in August. You might be thinking, I can't do events until this pandemic passes. That you might actually be missing out on a golden window of opportunity. So just like this church down in Florida did this past weekend, they wanted to do something special to get the kids back to church, to get mom and dad back. You might use this as a tool to get people back. I would not think big events need to wait. Think about how could I leverage an event right now. Also want to mention, because I'm friends with Donnie and Roger and Ken and their ministry team, I know that they do have costs, but they will work with you and your budget. And so don't think, a big event like that has to cost all of these thousands and thousands. Yes, there are some costs, but these, as Donnie has said, they really do want to serve your church, and they will do their very best. Donnie, I feel like I'm speaking for you. I hope that that's the case, but I believe it is.
That is exactly the case.
Work with people's budget. That
is exactly right. Ken is the one that you'll talk to, and Ken, he does. As a matter of fact, we booked an event in September for a church in Ohio, and working inside of their budget. Nice. That's just what we do. We don't want to tell anyone no. We are limited in the number of teams that we have, but we do want to meet people where they are. And like you said, there are costs, and so we do have to provide for those costs and those things. But yeah, call Ken. He can work with you.
I love it. So go to kidzblitz.com, KIDZBLITZ. Check out the ministry. Ken, Donnie, thank you for joining me on the coffee chat today. You're a great friend. I was hoping prior to pandemic, you were going to be with us at MegaCon in September.
We were hoping. We were hoping.
October 2021. Lord willing, Donnie will be there.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah. Donnie, love you, brother. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you too. Hey, Ryan, thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yes. All right. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
You too. Friends, it's Donnie Slade, Kidz Blitz. Go check out Kidz Blitz, KIDZBLITZ.com. I've also mentioned MegaCon. MegaCon is our big conference for children's pastors that we do every fall. It's normally the first week of October in Nashville, Tennessee. Last year, we had 2,500 people at MegaCon for this 3-day event. It was phenomenal. This year, because of COVID-19, we've had to move to an online conference, but we will be back in Nashville, Tennessee, first week of October 2021. Please mark that on your calendar. And for this October, we are doing a MegaCon online, even expanded. There's a free option, so please go check out kidmennation.com. We'd love to have you be a part. Friends, thanks for joining me on today's coffee chat. Thank you again, Donnie Slade. We will be back tomorrow. Let me pull up my notes. We're going to be talking to Kevin White. Kevin is a youth guy, kid guy. I've known Kevin for many years. He's currently serving at Awana, and we're going to talk about what's going on at Awana these days, but even beyond that, what's going on with kids ministry and youth ministry as he is keeping his ear to the rail. Going to be a great conversation. It'll be the first time I've had Kevin White on the coffee chat. That'll be tomorrow at the same time. Friends, be blessed. Have a wonderful week. We will talk to you tomorrow.